Okay, hey, welcome. So today I'm deciding to rank the final bosses of all of the Mario RPGs, including some penultimate bosses. So I think let's not waste time with the introduction, let's just get straight into it with number 14. Yeah, there's 14 in this list. So, starting the show at last place, at number 14, we have Bowser from Paper Mario Sticker Star. Yeah, that one. So, all of my bosses here I have a way of figuring out the ranking by scoring them. So, first of all, the difficulty, which I've given him a 4 out of 10. Because it's they're like the final phase of this battle is really easy. Especially if you have a few infinite jumps in your sticker book. But for the first few phases, the first 4 or 5 maybe, I don't remember, 4 phases I think, yeah, you need some specific thing stickers to actually do anything, so it's a little annoying because if you don't figure it out, well, it'll take you a while to do the battle. So difficulty 4 out of 10. Now, the second thing that makes a good boss battle is their theme. A boss battle be incomplete without a good final boss battle theme to really set the atmosphere. And this one scored 1 out of 10. Compared to all other final bosses, this is a very weak one, and I barely even remember what the theme is. They're supposed to be memorable, but I remember playing it because I played Sticker Star a lot of time because it was the only Paper Mario on a handheld console. So I could play it on a plane and in a car, stuff like that. So I remember playing it quite a lot of times, and it's just not as good. And the last part of the scoring is the design. This can be the design of the boss itself or the design of the boss battle. And this one scores 2 out of 10. Why? Because A, this is a weak design. I mean, hey, look at me, I've got a sparkly crown, suddenly I'm powerful. No, you're not. So, yeah, it's just Bowser. And then in the last phase, it's giant Bowser. He's big again. And he's made out of cardboard, because cardboard is stronger than paper. How uninspiring. This is doesn't really seem like much went into thinking about this battle, to be honest. There's nothing special to go to it, so the final boss rating for Bowser from Sticker Star is a 7 out of 30. Yeah. So, we've set the bar, now let's watch everybody else jump over it. On to the next one. In 13th place, well, this one and the next one are actually on the same score, so I chose which one I prefer out of the two of them. So in 13th place is Bowser again, but this time, Bowser from Paper Mario 64. Now the difficulty I put on this is 5 out of 10. See, it's not too difficult if you can be bothered to actually level up in the game. I do this thing where I can't be bothered to fight enemies, I dash through the game, and I go into the final battle at a really low level and I die a lot of times very quickly. So if you level up, it's not hard, it's a very basic battle. But there are issues. You can KO your partner briefly, so you have to wait quite a few turns to get your partner back. And using the Peach Beam to stop his Star Rod does waste a Mario turn, which is, well, if you don't have your partner active at that point, that's your entire turn gone, and then he replenishes 30 health. Grr. Okay, so the theme is 5 out of 10 as well. And this is the theme of Bowser's Rage, Wish to the Princess, and King of the Koopas, all 3 in 1. And it's a pretty good piece. I mean, compared to the other music in this game, it's a good one for the final battle, but it doesn't compare to the other final bosses from other games that well. And the final aspect is design. I'm going to give Paper Mario 64 a pass on this because it was the first Paper Mario game, but Bowser's big again. One time it'd be nice if maybe Bowser surprised us and shrunk himself really small. Wouldn't see that coming. But no, it's Big Bowser again, and this time, right, instead of having a sparkly sticker crown, he's got a sparkly star rod. So, it's just Bowser with the magic wand. It's not that much for design, and the battle design is very basic, like I mentioned earlier, so the final boss rating for Bowser from Paper Mario 64 is 13 out of 30. 12th place goes to Smithy from Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. So the difficulty rating is 4 out of 10. See, if you have to use Mario, obviously. I mean, it won't let you not use Mario, but Mario plus Toadstool plus Geno equals easy. You got Geno to do his powerful moves, you got Mario just to do whatever, and Toadstool's there to heal you if your health gets too low. And as for the difficulty, well, because, you know, Smithy likes to transform, so when he's in his mage mode, where he does magic attacks, that's not too easy. And tank mode is powerful, so that's no good. When he turns into the chest, he's pretty okay, but he has the annoying side effects where he poisons people or whatever. And if he turns into a safe, well, that's an easy win. Just keep attacking. And the body is a constant hassle, because the body will just keep hammering you. Okay, so the theme is next. The theme, I gave it a 2 out of 10. It's relatively dull, but then again, this is a very old game. It's not a very memorable piece of music. Personally, I prefer Fight Against an Armed Boss, because that tune is great. And so now, design. Design, I give a 7 out of 10. I mean, sure, the game might not have aged that well. It'd be cool if they remastered this game, for sure. But it's a cool design, and of course he transforms, he can turn into a whole bunch of different things, which is quite cool. And the battle design's it's in 2 phases. The first phase where an unnecessary amount of shysters might appear, and that can be quite annoying, but you just want to ignore them and focus on Smithy. The second phase is, well, you gotta focus on his body and his head as 2 parts again, which a lot of battles like to do. So, design 7 out of 10, so the final boss rating is also 13 out of 30. But I placed Smithy ahead of Bowser from PM64 because I preferred the Smithy fight. I didn't have too many issues with the fight, but that would be because I spent a few hours defeating machine-made Uridoviches in the room before Smithy's just so I could level up. Because the first time I tried it, I died in like 2 turns, if that. Okay, so on to the next one. So in 11th place we have Black Bowser from Color Splash. Yeah, Paper Mario Color Splash. So some people didn't like this game as much, some people liked it more than Sticker Star, which is agreeable. But I thought this was an okay game. I quite liked it, it had a good soundtrack. Okay, so the difficulty. So difficulty is 5 out of 10. It's not that difficult of a battle, but the final attack is sometimes hard to dodge, so because you have to dodge his final attack to beat him. But other than that, nothing too difficult about it, nothing special. So 5 out of 10. For the theme, I give 6 out of 10 because I love Blackout. Blackout's good. It's a good piece. It's not quite as amazing as some of the others, but the organ really just sets it though. It's pretty good. As for the design, 3 out of 10. Yeah, it's another Big Bowser, another one. He's big again. And this time, instead of having a sparkly crown or a sparkly magic wand, look at me, I'm covered in black paint. Now I'm more powerful. And it's once again an instance where Bowser gets possessed, because Bowser is always getting possessed by stuff. So 3 out of 10 for design there, and the battle's very basic. So, final boss rating, 14 out of 30. So in 10th place, we have Dark Bowser entering the ranks from Bowser's Inside Story. For difficulty, I'm giving a 3 out of 10 because I had no issues with this. This was an easy battle. I had issues with Bowser back at Toadley's clinic because I couldn't dodge his Shy Guy attack. I had a few issues with Midbus at 4-4 Theatre, and a few issues with the Dark Star, and maybe a tiny little bit of issues with the Wiggler minigame eating the Giga Carrot, but that didn't take too long. But this battle, not that difficult. Especially if you've made the effort to find all of Brock Monsieur's abilities. It's worth it, trust me. It's an easy battle because if you do that, you get Broggy Bonker. So you can just send out Broggy and all the abilities to knock out Dark Bowser. And then when you're on the part inside of Bowser against Darkstar Core, you want to use the magic window just to jump on all the appendages except for the one that he retracts. And then Falling Star to attack the top of the Darkstar Core. And then it's a pretty easy battle. I guess the theme. Well, we all know that in the final, or the grand finale in DX version, is an amazing piece. So this one got a theme of 8 out of 10. It's pretty fast paced and it matches the atmosphere of the fight and it's just epic, you know? As for the design, I give 5 out of 10. Very few points for Dark Bowser since it's just Bowser, but dark, possessed by, copied by Darkstar, copied his genes. And occasionally it becomes a slightly bigger Bowser, so yeah. Most of these points I'm giving are for the Darkstar Core, which was a pretty cool design of Farfel and the Darkstar. It was quite fun. As for the battle design, it was really fun to be able to have the final battle as Bowser and Mario and Luigi. I wasn't sure what they were going to do about that. So that was a good one. So the final boss rating for Dark Bowser / Darkstar Core as well is 16 out of 30. So arriving at 9th place is Shiny Robo Bowser from Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. Difficulty is a 5 out of 10. There is literally nothing special or overly difficult about this. It's pretty weak for an M&L final boss. I mean, sure, there's some mild inconveniences with his moveset, and if I remember correctly, he doesn't like it when you use trio attacks, so he'll do one of his own, which isn't really that fun. Okay, so theme, I gave 7 out of 10. The theme is called Final Battle. It's a generic name, but it's a pretty cool theme. And of course, that's the theme for the Shiny Robo Bowser part, not the theme for any fighting Bowser and Paper Bowser. As for design, 5 out of 10. And yes, it's another big Bowser. Again. Okay, I mean, like, it was fine to begin with, unlike the first one, like Paper Mario 64, but come on, this is the 5th Mario and Luigi game, you're still playing this card. And this time, he has sparkly cardboard armor that makes him so strong. You know what? It's cardboard, couldn't they just set fire to it and the cardboard would burn? I mean, Mario used to be able to control fire in Superstar Saga, right? Okay, so the final boss rating for this one is 17 out of 30. Joining the battle at 8th is Count Black, said Count Black, from Super Paper Mario. Now the difficulty for this was a 2 out of 10. Super Paper Mario is a very easy game. Like, it's not easy to get game overed in this game, unless you decide you're gonna have a run-in with some Mega Muffs, which may have killed me on my walkthrough on Super Paper Mario 84. And the regular Muffs killed me as well in 5-1. But just avoid the Muffs, everything else on Super Paper Mario is easy. It's easy gameplay for fighting, so Count Black gets no difficulty points from that, but his ability to slow down your movement and slow down time, it does cause some difficulties when he then decides to just toss a black hole at you. So that's where this boss earns some points for difficulty. As for the theme, 9 out of 10. Because I love all 9 of Count Black's themes. Here's a refresher. Birth of the Chaos Heart, Champion of Destruction, The Evil Count Black, The Evil Count Black version 2, Count Black's Plan, Bounding Through Time, Promise, Castle Black, and Closing Battle, which is what this one is. And this one is pretty epic, and it suits my favorite villain of all Mario games, probably of all time. So 9 out of 10 on the theme. As for design, 6 out of 10. The battle design it's okay. I quite enjoy it, and I like that he can slow down time because it makes it a little bit more interesting. As for the design of Count Black himself, Count Black's awesome, and his attire suits him. He's got this really cool cape that looks like he has like a dimension inside of it, and he just... Black. So, Black gets a final boss rating of 17 out of 30. So placed in position number 7 is Phantasma from Mario and Luigi Dream Team. It gets a 7 out of 10 for difficulty because, yeah, some of his attacks were hard to dodge, and this is a pretty strong opponent for the penultimate boss. Like, I would have preferred Phantasma to be the final boss, as I've probably hinted quite a few times out. I'd quite like Phantasma to have been the final boss, but Bowser again. Okay, so yeah, he was pretty difficult for penultimate boss to 7. His theme is 6 out of 10. I mean, Final Phantasma sounds pretty good, and it suits Phantasma more than any other villain, or more than it would suit any other villain, or any other villain's tunes would suit Phantasma. It's the perfect one for him. It's just... So yeah, 6 out of 10. It's pretty good. As for the design, 5 out of 10. I like it set in the dream world. It's pretty cool. As for the design of Phantasma, well, he is just a giant bat dude. And he's just a giant bat man. So, he doesn't change his appearance that much for his final battle. He doesn't do much special. Like, you kind of expect bosses to do something big and special for their last fight, but nah, Phantasma looks pretty much the same. He's just pretty much the same as when you fought him near the start. So the final boss rating for Phantasma is a 18 out of 30. So coming in at number 6 is the Origami Overlord, King Olly from Paper Mario the Origami King. Now, yeah, this next part's going to have spoilers, so you can click the timestamp in the description to skip to the 5th place immediately, or if you've played the Origami King, listen on. I'll just give you a little bit of time to click it now. So if you haven't clicked it yet, I presume you've finished the game or you just don't care about spoilers. So the difficulty, I gave a 5 out of 10. It has a certain level of difficulty at some parts, especially if you're not good at puzzle solving or have slow reactions. Theme gets a 5 out of 10. It gets better as the phases go on, but it's a pretty good tune. And the design, I give an 8 out of 10 because this battle, like the battle design is beautiful. Because first of all, phase 1, King Olly can turn into all 4 of elementals, so you gotta fight against all 4 of them, unless you can kill them quicker, like I did. I only fought 2 of them. And so you have to fight all 4 of elementals with your own ones, and then use your 1,000-fold arms to defeat him. Phase 2 is like a sumo wrestling match against a giant Origami Bowser and a giant Origami King Olly. And you have to use your magic. Circles to use your 1,000-fold arms to help Bowser win. Pretty cool seeing Bowser be the good guy here. And phase 3 was a part where you had to solve a puzzle. You had to rearrange the circle to make a giant magic circle to use a final attack on. And obviously, you only got so long to make adjustments before Olly would attack, and you gotta have relatively quick reactions to press A at the right time to avoid. I mean, it's not too difficult, but it does keep you on your toes there. So the final boss rating for King Olly is 18 out of 30. And the spoilers are now over, it's safe for you to rejoin. So, making her way into 5th place is the Shadow Queen from Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. Difficulty, I'm rating a 6 out of 10. See, I can't make much of a judgment on this game. I haven't played The Thousand Year Door. Some people are probably thinking, why haven't you played this game? It's amazing. It's the best Paper Mario. Firstly, I already disagree because I feel like Super Paper Mario is my favourite and Thousand Year Door may be slightly overrated by everyone who says it's the best. But obviously I can't judge there. And secondly, I haven't played it because I don't have the console that it can be played on, and they haven't put it on any put it on like the Wii U for download. That's how I played a lot of the older games. So yeah, that's why I haven't played it. But this does look like quite a hard battle. I've watched the final battle online, so I know what I'm dealing with here. As for the theme, 8 out of 10. And I'm not talking about the first phase, I'm talking about Shadow Queen Phase 2, which is a pretty good theme. So yeah, I haven't played TTYD, but I do love this tune. And it's got a little slight bit of creepy in it just to fit the tone. It's a pretty good theme. As for the design, I give 6 out of 10. It's a very unique design at that. I mean, this is very different to all the other final bosses we have. And possessing Peach was a cool idea. I mean, nobody else has done that, I think. So that was quite a good move. The battle looks fairly simple as well, like in Paper Mario 64 battle style. So the final boss rating for the Shadow Queen is also a 20 out of 30. My 4th place pick was the number 1 of the Bowsers. Here's Dreamy Bowser from Mario & Luigi Dream Team. Difficulty 6 out of 10. He wasn't too hard, but he wasn't too easy. It was challenging enough. It was pretty much just about right for a Mario & Luigi game. I mean, personally, I like the final boss to be a little harder, but not because I haven't leveled up, but because the battle itself is genuinely hard. So, 6 out of 10. Theme, 7 out of 10. Adventure's End is a great piece. It is truly fit for the Adventure's End, so it is a good one. As for the design, 7 out of 10. Like, it was that one time when Bowser basically reached godlike levels of power with the Dream Stone. And yeah, he looks pretty overpowered. But once again, he requires the use of something else to make himself strong. I have a sparkly stone in my head. Maybe now I can defeat Mario and Luigi. Oh wait, no, I lost again. So, yeah, Dreamy Bowser is also yet another giant Bowser, but this one was cool, so I'll forgive that. Final boss rating, 20 out of 30. So, earning a bronze medal in the final boss competition, 3rd place goes to Elder Princess Shrub from Mario & Luigi Partners in Time. And after replaying this battle not too long ago, difficulty rating, 10 out of 10. This is stupidly hard. I mean, there are so many body parts you have to defeat. She has 4 arm tentacles, she has her foot tentacles, and her crown, as well as her head, which is what you need to defeat. And the crown keeps replenishing, so you gotta defeat the crown first to be able to do any decent damage to this thing. But then, after a couple of attacks, ideally, I would use the copy flower just to have loads of them run across and jump on her. But after enough turns, the crown replenishes, you gotta defeat it again. But then, after a while, the tentacles come back, the foot comes back, and the foot spinning attack is very annoying. Especially, not so bad when there's only 2 of them, but when there's 3 of them you have to jump over, that's a bit much. So, this is very difficult. But of course, if most of you should have figured out, the mixed flower is the way to go for defeating all the various parts to begin with. So the theme is a 4 out of 10. See, it's okay. It's an okay theme. It starts off really good, but then it just gets kind of like slow and quieter, and it doesn't really feel epic enough for the moment, so I'd have to give it 4 out of 10. As for the design, 7 out of 10. Evil. I'm not just talking about Elder Princess Shrub, I'm talking about the battle design as well. This is evil. And very menacing. But as for the battle design, there's probably a few too many different parts for you to attack. I mean, if you think about it, the forearm tentacles, the foot, the crown, and the head, there are 7 parts of Elder Princess Shrub you can attack, and it seems like a bit much. I mean, 4 parts might be fine, 7 is too much. So yeah, this is an evil battle. Evil. So the final boss rating is 21 out of 30. So, graduating from Final Boss Class 101 with the silver certificate for second place is Super Dementia from Super Paper Mario. As for difficulty, we give a 4 out of 10. Again, Super Paper Mario was a very easy game, but it made up for its lack of difficulty with its amazing story, characters, and soundtrack, as I always sing the praises of Super Paper Mario, and I always shall. And this is the hardest boss in the game, for sure, I mean, but that's not much of a contest. It's still easier than the stupid Mega Muffs at the start of the level, but won't even go there. I mean, this thing that's made up of Luigi, Dementia, and a Chaos Heart has the same HP as a Mega Muff. That makes no sense to me. As for the theme, alright, theming, 10 out of 10. The Ultimate Show is epic. And that was before man on the internet got his hands on it and everyone started saying, we perform, we rewrite the norm. But now it's just an amazing theme that's perfect for the battle to save all dimensions. So, great job on that. Once again, reinforcing Super Paper Mario's soundtrack is the best. Don't try and change my mind. As for the design, well, that's Super Dementia, a freakish blend of Luigi, Dementia, and the Chaos Heart. 8 out of 10. It's really awesome. Luigi's never looked so powerful. But it's not fun if you get stuck between his legs though, because then he just keeps attacking you and you can't move until you flip to 3D, but I prefer not to use Mario. You've got to use Bowser for this battle. As for the battle design, well, it's like any battle design in this game, except for Robot Battle, that's the only different one. It's kind of open field, you just like jump around the place or breathe, in this case you want to breathe fire on him, and then see, it's a relatively easy battle design, which is what stops it from getting a 10 out of 10 on design, but the design of the character itself is really good. So the final boss rating is 22 out of 30. Are you still conscious? Ugh, you're a persistent pair. I shall dispose of you quickly and then eat you for lunch. And now, in first place, the Queen of the Bosses, Cackletta's Soul from Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. Difficulty is 10 out of 10. Look, the first time I completed this without using the virtual console cheating method, where you save after every successful attack and after every successful dodge, and if you don't do it successfully, you reload your save points so you can just try again and again without taking damage. See, the first time I did it without doing this cheat, it took me 5 hours. I sat down in the morning, started playing it. 5 hours later, I finished it. This was incredibly difficult. I mean, first of all, you start with 1 HP. And unless your speed is really good, unless you have a really good speed rating, she's going to get the first attack, and most likely she will use the overpowered spinning arm attack. The one where arms spin around and you can tell if they're going to be up in the air or not by looking at her eyes, which go up or down to show which way they're going to be. But the arms are the worst. And then there's that one attack where she can stop time and shoot lasers at you. So you gotta look at her eyes, which one's up and which one's down, or if they're both up or down. And if they're up, don't jump that character. If it's down, jump the character. But you gotta make sure you get timing right if you jump the character, because then she will freeze time, and wherever you are, she'll just zap the laser and you might get hit. And then there's that part where she flips her left hand and you get circled by fireballs. And it's easy to begin with, it has a pattern, but then far enough through the game, the pattern changes and it spins more times than you expect, and then suddenly you get yourself hit. And you don't really want to waste turns healing yourself because you finally exposed her heart, and let's say when your bros got knocked out, that's one less bros attack you can do before her heart disappears again. So then, to begin with, you knock out the head and the two arms, and next thing you know, the heart appears. Now, if you time this well, you can get one bros attack in before the heart replenishes the rest of the body. And if you time this badly, the whole body reappears, and every time that Calculator takes her turn, her heart is going to re-heal all the other parts of her body until the heart recedes back into her chest. And so, yeah, it regenerates the segment health. So you finally expose the thing. You gotta keep shooting bros attacks at it, but of course, if one of your people gets KO'd, you're gonna waste a turn healing them. And for bros attack, try and do ones that are only gonna attack the heart really intensely, because if it's gonna attack the head as well, she'll take Calculator's soul will take an extra turn early. So avoid attacking the head really, unless you know you can remove it in one go. So this is a very difficult battle with a lot of difficult situations. Not to mention when Forfall's ghost appears and spits these weird balls at you, and you gotta jump over them, and then he just pops down at you. So, and then of course every time her hands come in, you gotta get them before she flicks her finger at you. I mean, she's that powerful she can just flick you and you lose that much health. But of course, when you start the game, as soon as you get your first turn, use a max nut. If you don't have max nuts, then you have no chance. You gotta start with one of those. It's a 10 out of 10 difficulty. For theme, I give 9 out of 10. See, I love the last Calculator. It's a great theme. I mean, the original version. Obviously, I prefer the original. It's not too overwhelming. It's not too weak. And it just sounds perfect for this battle. So 9 out of 10. And for the design, also 9 out of 10. I mean, the boss design is the heart is receded in her chest until all of the body parts defeated first, then it pops out. And there aren't too many parts to Calculator to solve. There's just the two arms, the head, and the heart. Unlike Elder Princess Shrub, who, as I mentioned earlier, has 7 parts. And it's an awesome design, and I'm not talking about the buffed up new version that tries way too hard to look cool. I mean the original Soul, that's menacing, with its evil grin that taunts you as you game over again, and again, and again, with that constant laugh. Yeah. Calculator's soul is evil, but it feels so good when you defeat her. It feels so good. And then you get to listen to the end credit music for Superstar Saga, which is quite good as well. So the final boss rating for Calculator's Soul, 28 out of 30. This boss is almost perfect. So, I mean, yeah, I said the difficulty was 10 out of 10, but it wasn't too difficult like Elder Princess Shrub. It was very difficult, but I liked it. I liked its difficulty, and I liked how it felt when I finally beat it. Elder Princess Shrub just felt like a chore, but this one felt... It feels good when you defeat it. And the last time I played this battle, only took me 2 hours instead of 5, so I'm getting better. So, yeah. 28 out of 30. Best Mario RPG boss, in my opinion. So, thank you for watching my rankings of the Mario RPG bosses. I mean, I don't know if any of you agree or not. You can feel free to leave your rankings in the comments or whatever. I don't mind. Anything you want to debate me on, go ahead. But Maybe not Thousand Year Door stuff. I mean, if you put Shadow Queen Hyrule lower, I don't care. I haven't played the game. But I want to see what everybody else thinks their favourite boss is as well. But for me, Cacklada's Soul wins. So, on that note, ciao.